Chapter 11, Episode 9. Mr. Prescott happened to be at Sumner and Banks' law firm on mostly a personal visit when the phone rang and the secretary picked up the phone. Naked? World run by zombies? What? His crime is? The kind of thing Prescott liked for a little change of pace. Let me take it, if I may. The secretary looked at Prescott to see if she had heard right. He nodded. Mr. Prescott will be down. 10 minutes. In 10 minutes. Prescott smiled. The secretary loved him almost secretively. Prescott had Stanfield drive him to the precinct to talk to the suspect. Suspect of what other than nakedness, no one was decided. The suspect was confused. Maybe he was high on drugs. That wasn't the impression he gave, however. At the police station, they had seen enough drunks and drug addicts to know what condition their suspect or criminals were in. In the last years, in their city and other American cities, the pharmaceutical drugs had taken over. Fanfare advertising campaigns had encouraged everyone to take a pill. The pharmaceutical drug companies had marketed a real disaster for the police and the addicts and the friends and family of those people. Heroin addicts were a welcome relief anymore for the police. They seemed sensible and cheery in comparison to the new addicts. Good day, Mr. Prescott. Same to you, Constable Richards. Do you know who he is? No, we don't either. We haven't tried facial scan or fingerprints yet. The man is lucid, just in a panic. Doesn't seem to know where he is. He thinks the date is wrong. That's interesting. By how much? About 40,000 years. Not a little bit. Prescott had taken on other odd cases that he executed at his own cost. Constable Richard wasn't surprised to see him when he showed up. It was his charity work. He didn't like people to call it that. He called it staying fit. He could negotiate contracts in his sleep. Staying fit demanded constant training. He loved law and wanted to be one of the best. He was. But he could see room for improvement and fun. He was standing on the table last I checked on him. Seems to be under the table now. Maybe he is a mad scientist. Don't imagine he's a scientist, but he is mad enough. Good luck. When Prescott went into the room, the no longer naked man was clinging to the underside of the table, trying to pull up and hide. He heard the door open and shut. He saw feet move over to the chair. The chair moved away from the table. Then the feet were stationed in front of the chair. Do you have a name? Yes, we all have names. Do you remember yours? If you do remember, please tell me what it is. Yes, I remember my name is Randy. I was sent here. Who sent you? The committee. I'm not familiar with the committee. They decide what must be done. They decided that I must come to now to avoid the now that is then later from here. Okay, Randy, that seems to make sense on some levels. It doesn't explain why you were naked in New York. It isn't a practice custom. Can you explain that? That's the one thing I can't explain. You lost your clothes. Clothes don't come through. It's purely biological. Safety reasons. That makes sense, but not clarity. I don't know how it works. Do you know where you are now? Under the table. Do you know where the table is? It's here. It's in a police station. For you, this is where we must decide your near future. You can help yourself by giving me some information. I am your lawyer. I need to know all there is to know about why you were naked in the street to help you. No one else needs to know. Randy started breathing rapidly. He thought he recognized the voice. This had to be impossible because whoever spoke had been dead a long time. He couldn't know him. Or he had come to the wrong date. If your arms get tired, you could come out and sit on a chair or stand. Stand. I should stand now. Randy came out from under the table and stood on a chair. He was careful not to look toward the sitting person, the lawyer. He didn't know if lawyers were good things to have. Randy wondered if he should give the lawyer his message. The policeman hadn't understood it. Maybe no one could understand him. That would be a big problem. He would have to go back, but he didn't know how to get back. He had to make them understand. When he was comfortable, he looked at Prescott and screamed. He fell off his chair and banged his head on the wall. Randy was the second skinhead Prescott didn't kill. He had watched his friend have his heart ripped out. He had been let go and told to be friendlier to strangers or he would also get his heart ripped out. Prescott had all the information he needed. Randy was manic. Randy, this may seem unfortunate for you. I came here because I guessed it was you when I heard you were worried about zombies. There are no zombies. You need help. You will be taken somewhere safe where you can get the care you need. Randy screamed again. The man he had managed to escape by putting 40,000 years between them was the man he had to meet when he returned. They must have known somehow. They knew about the jump. He needed to send a message back to the future. He couldn't remember how to do that. They are going to take over the world. Randy wasn't talking to Prescott anymore. He was just making certain he remembered his mission and forgot about that night. Maybe the dream of his friend having his heart ripped out had a different meaning. Maybe they were going to rip out his heart. They might not like people coming to them, warning them. That was how it was back in the now. History had shown that the life on the planet had nearly ended before people listened to any warning. Randy realized he was stuck. There was no going back. They chose him because he was expendable. They would know when the future hadn't changed that his mission had failed. The committee would send someone else. They had likely sent many already. The most useless members of the future were sent to do delicate operations. Insanity. Randy realized he wasn't sure, but he remembered the message. Instead of being terrified of the man sitting in the room, he tried to make sense in his mind so he would not forget it, just in case he managed to get out of his prison. Let out. That didn't look likely. Genocide, war, and slavery are the methods for all empires, no exceptions. An empire requires more and more plundering to sustain its momentum. Empires, if not destroyed, destroy themselves. The American empire will also fall apart, is falling apart. It might survive if it changes to a sustainable system, a reality-based survival industry. Zombies had been the key to the memory. Now he knew that too. The empire falls and zombies take over the world. He still couldn't remember what an empire was and why they always fell. If they always fell, why not stop making them? He was sure there weren't big things that could fall over where he came from. He did remember being warned that no one would know what he was talking about. Something about being in an empire made it difficult to notice it was falling, like floating down a river. Randy couldn't remember what river. Maybe it was the key. Randy was now worried that keys opened up door after door. In every new room, a new key to another door. That would be another problem. He also had to eat. He realized that a very serious problem was how to find food. That wasn't something he knew about. He realized he was lost even in his thoughts and tried to remember what he was trying to remember. That was a key thing. Okay, this ain't good, I know. I got to know where this is. I should probably know that. I'm caged. It's okay to know why. I don't know how you do it here, right? I got to know. What you gonna do to me? Randy, you won't be detained. That'd be better, I guess. What you going to do with me? You will be taken to a mental facility. They will take care of you until you can take care of yourself. You will not be a prisoner there. Prescott left Randy to see Constable Richards. What do you think, Mr. Prescott? I'm guessing no one will want to write this up. Randy claims there is no need for more than one name where he comes from. He is Randy. He doesn't know why he is here. For him, the question seems to be more of a philosophical problem. I don't want to say nervous breakdown on record because I'm not a doctor of medicine. I see. We should send him to live with the lost souls. I think this one will bounce back. He's clever enough. We'll let you know where he is. Thank you. Thank you. Always a pleasure.